What's going on, guys? It's Rahman and I am super excited for this video because you guys already know, hashtag new Kobe alert. The Kobe ADs just dropped this past Monday and I was able to play in them, so I will be giving you guys my thoughts on how they perform a little bit later in this video. But first, we gotta give a message to our sponsor, which would be Seasons Create. These guys make the most unique basketballs on the market today. I mean, just look at this thing. It's like a piece of art. And plus, we've been playing with like orange basketballs for like 60 years. It's time to change, people, and Seasons Creator can help you make that change. So if you're interested in picking up a ball for yourself, you could do so with the link in the description box below. I've been absolutely loving mine. So why don't you make the change, be unique, be a creator with Seasons Create. All right, so before we go to the gym and give you guys my thoughts on these performance-wise, I want to talk about the new Kobe ADs visually, aesthetically, and design-wise. The first thing that I want to talk about is the name. A lot of you guys are calling this the Kobe AD Exodus. I don't know where that name came from. I don't know if it is officially called the Kobe AD Exodus. All I know is this box just says Kobe AD. So I don't know what to call these, so I've just been calling them the new Kobe's, the new Kobe ADs. That's what the people at the gym were calling them. They're like, yo, how are the new Kobe's? Do you like them? So I'm just gonna call them the new Kobe's because Exodus, it's not on the box. Now that we got that out of the way, what do I think about these visually? I think it's a very unique looking sneaker, and that could be taken two different ways. It could be like a bad thing, like, oh, yo, those are kind of unique, or like, yo, those are unique. I myself am more on the good side of that argument because I think this sneaker really stands out, especially on the court. Sure, there's some elements that borrow from other sneakers, but as a whole, I think the new Kobe AD's design visually is very aesthetically pleasing, and I'm a fan of it. As for the rest of you guys, a lot of you on Instagram were telling me how you did not like how these looked visually. And I was actually pretty shocked because, like I said, I think it's a very unique looking sneaker in a good way, but a lot of you guys just weren't feeling them. And I think it was because of this colorway. A couple of you guys mentioned how you didn't like this colorway. I personally do like it. I think it's unique. There's not a lot of other colorways out there. It's not your typical launch colorway. Sure, I would have liked to seen a Laker colorway drop, but I really dig this colorway. I'm loving that navy blue, this hot salmon, crimson, pink style laces up front. That's a really nice look, really pops off of the sneaker. And this Volt outsole is just killer on the hardwood. So I'm a fan of this colorway, and I'm also a fan of the variety of materials that these new Kobe ADs have. Now, I'm not sure how these materials all work as a whole. I'll talk a little bit about that later in this video with my performance review. But as a whole, visually, the materials, the variety and diversity of the materials, it's a really cool look. It's kind of an off-whitey, you know, deconstructed, stitched together type look, but still clean and seamless. So I dig that. But a lot of you guys on Instagram were telling me that you didn't. So I just thought I would mention that I'm a fan. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the new Kobe's visually. So let's head to the gym so I can give you my thoughts on these performance-wise. So let's do the transition thing now. All right, so the new Kobe ADs. Now, I already talked about how much I like the look of these visually, but how do they play on the court? Well, I just got about 3 hours in them, and I have to say, it's a pretty solid sneaker, but there are some not so good qualities to it. The first thing right off the bat, the traction. Now the traction is very, very similar, if not identical to what was used on the Kobe 10. However, this traction setup, I was slipping all over the place. The court we played on tonight is notorious for being slippery and slick, but even then I felt like the traction just wasn't biting the floor like I'm used to. The last shoe I reviewed, the Harden BE X's, those grip the floor nicely on this court. The Kobe ADs, however, I was having all kinds of problem on my turnaround pivot, fadeaway jumpers. I was slipping on my Euro steps. I was skidding. The skidding motion was very prevalent with this outsole, and it was a very huge disappointment. Another thing that I didn't like too much, the materials, they're solid, they're great, they really fit to my foot very nicely, and the fit overall in the Kobe ADs is very good. The last Kobe, the NXT 360s, it was a little too long, about half a size. These, however, do not have that problem. I thought true to size was absolutely fantastic, and the materials grab to my foot very nicely, but I just don't think it's as nice as that 360-degree Flyknit that was used in the last Kobe, the NXT 360s. So I feel like it was a step back. The good news is the price has been lowered, and I think the materials have a huge part in that. So we're paying for what we get, so to speak. With Nike, they gave us not as good materials, but at a lower price point. So that is good news. As far as the cushioning, this is something that I actually really like. The NXT 360s, compared to this is a little bit more of a bouncier setup. So if you're looking for something that's a little springier, this is gonna be right up your alley. And for me personally, and what I like in my cushioning system and for my play style, this is fantastic. I really enjoy playing in it. Now, Nike isn't being very transparent with what's being used here. I think it's bottom-loaded zoom in the heel, a pretty large unit because I did feel that nice little explosive bounce back that comes with zoom. The forefoot, it could be caged react, caged lunar, similar to the Kobe 10s. All I know is I was getting a nice little pep in my step. I was feeling very responsive, very explosive out there on the court. So that's great news if you felt like the last Kobe was a little too mushy or spongy, or you felt like your foot was sinking into it. These have got you with that quick explosiveness, and I really enjoyed playing in them. Now, as far as support, I felt like the Kobe ADs locked me down pretty well, especially in this forefoot area. This composite band, which was ripped straight off of like the Kyrie 3, is absolutely fantastic. It's not restrictive or uncomfortable whatsoever. It really snaps to my foot very nicely. It almost feels like a strap, so that's a very good feature. The midfoot and heel, I was feeling a little slippage in that area, but I think it was because I wasn't lacing them up too tight, because right out of the box, I felt like this true to size fit was great. I didn't want to suffocate my feet, but the next time I run, I think I am going to lace these up just a little bit tighter to get more containment in the midfoot as well as the heel. So there you guys have it. That takes care of the little mini performance review. There will be a more extensive performance review a little down the road, so stay tuned for that. Because you know, this isn't a cookie cutter performance sneaker review channel. We don't play on the court one night and then tell the people whether or not they should spend their hard-earned money on it. We playing them hard. We make sure you get your money's worth. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to be part of the notification gang. Let's head back to the studio and wrap this thing up. So there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts on the new Kobe ADs performance-wise. I will say again, I am having fun playing in them, but hopefully this traction breaks in or something, because in my opinion, if the traction gives out on a sneaker, it does not matter what the rest of the sneaker does. It could have great cushion, great materials, great fit, great support. If the traction sucks on the sneaker, I just can't ball in them. That's the simple truth. So hopefully these shape up, these break in or something. Keep in mind, there will be a more extensive performance review a little bit later down the road, so stay tuned for that. But I want to hear from you guys what you think about these in the comment section below. If you picked up a pair and played in them, I would love to hear your thoughts on these performance-wise as well. That pretty much takes care of this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and be sure to check out my last performance review on the Harden BE X's right here with the link on your left. Click my logo on the right to subscribe to this channel. Ring that bell for that notification gang clarification. Does that even make sense? Who cares? My name's Jaron. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.